Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about conflict. Conflict is one of the basic elements of a story. So what is conflict? Conflict in a story refers to the struggle or clash between opposing forces or characters that drives the narrative and creates tension. A simple way of understanding conflict is to think of it as a problem in the story that has to be resolved. There are different types of conflict commonly found in stories, such as man versus himself, man versus society, and lastly, man versus nature. Now let's take a look at each one. First, we have man versus man conflict. This type of conflict occurs when a character faces opposition or conflict with another individuals or group of individuals. It can involve physical, emotional, or intellectual clashes. An example of man versus man conflict is the rivalry between Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty in Arthur Conan Doyle's The Final Girl. Moving on, we have man versus himself conflict. So this type of conflict occurs when a character battles with their own thoughts, emotions, or inner struggles. It can involve dilemmas, self-doubt, or internal conflicts. An example of man versus himself conflict is found in Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, where the protagonist, Raskolnikov, grapples with guilt and his own moral conscience after committing a crime.
Next, we have man versus society conflict. In this type of conflict, a character struggles against the norms, rules, or expectations of society. It can involve challenging societal values, traditions, or injustices. An example of man versus society conflict is seen in Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, where Atticus Finch fights against the racial prejudice and injustice in small southern town. Lastly, we have man versus nature conflict. This type of conflict arises when a character faces challenges or dangers presented by the natural world. It can involve survival, environmental disasters, or struggles against the forces of nature. An example of man versus nature conflict is depicted in Jack London's To Build a Fire, where the main character battles freezing temperatures in harsh conditions in the Yukon wilderness.
So these different types of conflict add depth, tension, and complexity to a story. They create obstacles for the characters to overcome, drive the plot forward, and provide opportunities for the character development and thematic exploration. Conflict is crucial for engaging in the audience and creating a compelling narrative.